the Courts of the Lords of the Expanse 9. And this takes place right after the group has defeated IG 99 on in the power core of the Eclipse, which is in orbit over Fondor. So you all are here in the power core. You've defeated this droid. You can see a raging battle outside. But let's do a little inner monologue. Does anybody want to sort of reminisce and talk about what got you to this point in Fondor?
The support, whether we needed the support. Grant or the other guy whose name escapes me.
Allard, pretty you.
Allard.
Or just the Fondorian people.
Or the Fondorian people. The group all voted, and I was the only one who was reluctant to vote for Grant. So we went with Grant, even though I didn't trust him. I don't trust him at all. He was so quick to come in and capitalize on the situation so easily. It's almost like he engineered this whole situation to begin with. Grr. But it looks like he was the only person that we would be able to trust with the handling of the situation and not handing the Imperial remnants a new super weapon. So we went up with him with his ship, and we took an assault shuttle onto the Eclipse, where the Imperials had sent a assassin droid, and I took a completely inappropriate weapon for fighting indoors, which was a giant rocket launcher, which I sadly will have to figure out how I can hold on to it when they ask for it.
So the thing was, I rolled to see where you guys ended up and whether. So there were scenarios where you could have just blown off parts of the ship. Like, I was like, this is going to be very interesting. But how does Zuda Zorbo feel about all this diplomatic stuff that he's been thrust into? I feel like this has got to be, honestly, like Zuda Zorbo's hell. Like, this is really not what your character likes.
Yeah.
All right, other people's thoughts on how they ended up here? How did it all come to this?
Like, I imagine that he just bought a bunch of snacks for like all these kids, like and like he doesn't have any kids around him, so he's just like eating fruit snacks, kind of just like, yep, not surprised, seen this before, just another day. But he's ready.
But just to be clear, this ship is effectively I don't know, a mother, a sister, an auntie that the ship wants to protect at all costs.
Jawa Jimmy looks. Katira, you like kids?
You like Dakes?
I mean, I think that, it might be fun, not quite raising these kids. I'm not much for the motherly love, but, it's the chance to shape a young life. It's such a responsibility and a possibility. What if I shaped the young life of a starship?
Jawa Jimmy stops. Katira right there. You don't arrest these kids?
Yeah, we're gonna
Imagine
hang out.
tens of thousands of those screaming questions at you.
Yeah, but what if you could tell them, shut up, listen to me, you take care of her, and that's it.
You're a Star Destroyer.
You'll do as you're told.
You're the most
Right.
powerful Star Destroyer of all time. You'll do as you're told, you stupid Star Destroyer.
Joe Jimmy's like, yeah, I'm not plugging back into that thing. At least not directly.
Fair, fair. I mean, can't blame a girl for trying.
I guess that we're here. And we know this computer. Can Jawa Jimmy find Jawa just like to reconnect the machine, right? I'm sorry, make it recognize like your flute skills. Jawa Jimmy busts out the Omnibox. He's gonna serenade this AI computer. No. Given what we know about the machine, there's intelligent AI. I'll explain to the team like what I discovered. Like there is not a hyper intelligent, but what could be a very intelligent ship core that can be taught and trained based on how its curiosity. To Katira's point, yes, it probably can be influenced for better or for worse. That's probably why the assassin droid was here to reprogram the ship. So
Right, and if we leave, someone else is going to reprogram it, James.
Jawa James.
when things get serious, it becomes James. I would say Jawa Jimmy's gonna look for logs to see if he can find like an owner's manual. Like, is there any kind of like who created this? Like, how is this even? I feel like Jawa Jimmy would be so curious of like, how the hell is this thing even created? Like, is this Chat GPT of the future? How did this come about?
Built a Star Destroyer.
All right, roll your computer programming repair. Slicing.
8d6. Is that right? Yeah, that sounds right. 21.
All right. Let's see here. 21. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So the ship, let's see. Okay. So they're I guess with the 21, this is what you'd know. So the Eclipse alongside, so there's an Eclipse and there's an Eclipse 2. Both of them began construction at the same time. It was created in the deep core. It was apparently the owner went from being Sheev Palpatine to Tarkin to Tiberzon to Allard Perdue, and that's the current owner apparently. So looks like it was being created in the deep core, somehow was taken from there, was brought to Fondor, and the current owner is still Allard.
Can
you make me the owner? Can you make you the owner? If you don't want ownership, just don't make Calo Moss the owner.
That's what Jawa Jimmy was thinking too. He wants to have a bargaining chip. Jawa Jimmy never has that much of a bargaining chip ever. Jawa Jimmy's going to see if he can overwrite the ownership for himself.
And make himself the owner?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your slicing.
Do this. Hey, a 30.
Yep. You start talking to the droid brain, and you are able to easily insert yourself as the owner because the droid marine knows nothing. This is a blank slate.
That's the best kind
you,
of slate.
You are now the registered owner.
Proud owner.
Of the Eclipse.
Joe, Jimmy, you get the ship of your dreams.
The most
Can you use the
powerful ship of all time.
Can you fly it? No.
Nope.
But that's not the point. I guess at this point,
I mean, you need a crew
Yeah,
of maybe 100,000 people,
right?
maybe more.
They don't pilot this massive. It's like, Joe Jimmy's like, I don't got enough junk. I don't got enough robots to pilot this. But you got a bargaining chip. Joe Jimmy's also gonna put a lock on this. Put a lock or some kind of encryption on it, so that way he'll remain the owner until Jimmy does something otherwise. Until he does something. To Katira's point, which Jimmy does agree with, this is a bargaining chip for us, and we shouldn't lose this opportunity to keep this. I'm not sure what else feels about it, but Jimmy's going forward with this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to talk to anybody or just do that, but if you want to do that, go ahead and roll another. Whatever you roll now will be the difficulty if someone tried to override it. So.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Actually, roll that 6 again. Yeah.
So 34.
Okay. All right. So you encrypt it at 34.
Password is Sparky1234.
You forgot the exclamation mark at the end.
Question mark, not exclamation mark.
Question mark? Yeah, so Jawa Jimmy is now related. Hey, it's like, I'm the captain now. I'm kidding. He wouldn't say that.
Oh, we say that every mission. Of course he would say that. He learned it from us.
Of course he would say that.
I feel like that is something Laurel / Drew would say all the time, and I miss it. I miss, them for that.
Oh, of course. Always a fun time of chaos. Crap, what was I going to say? Now that we have this ship under control, or at least under our, or my control, what else we find about this ship? Because this was going to be used for anything else. Can I find any logs about where this was headed next? As far as like, where were the destinations outside of this? Because I'm assuming this is a destination after they caused the ruckus that they did.
I don't know how. Roll your computer programming repair.
Sure. Jeez.
Roll your special again. Oh, okay. So let's see. What you understand is that let's see if this makes sense before I say it.
Sure.
Okay. So the Eclipse itself, everything that you're using, most of it is in most of it is recognizable as quad drive yard technology. So when you go and talk to the ship, it's all quad drive yard. Let's say you're a computer programmer, as you go through and start talking to the ship, it's all quad drive yard, and what they've been trying to do for years, and they've succeeded, is put a layer over that and change it to what they use at Fondor. Not saying that's the only thing they did, but this is There's like a layer of abstraction there. So if you're going through and saying, hey, like, what's going on with the ship, is like, you're going through the layers, the architecture of the ship. And you're like, oh, this is a quad drive yard ship. Like, it speaks like the Quadi, starship code, but it's been abstracted, and there's sort of a layer on top of it to sort of make it work with Fondor things, which has not been super successful. But I don't know if that actually answers what you were trying to do, but that is the one thing you found. You don't really find a lot more other things.
No, that's fine. I was mostly curious of like, if we didn't board this ship, where was it headed next? Like, where was it going to jump to?
Nowhere.
If anywhere, or I was just going to stay here.
Do we know where the components were manufactured or came from other than quad, like fuel cells or anything else?
Where else? Where was it? Let's see. I mean, everything is Quadi technology. And to be fair, this started being manufactured before the Battle of Yavin. Like, this was already in the works. You had Fondor that made the Executor and that whole class of ship, and this was Quats being like, actually, we're going to make our own that's even bigger than your... Well, it's about the same size, but slightly bigger. Just a little bit bigger, but it looks a lot better than the Executor. So it was ostensibly built before the Battle of Endor, and I don't know. Where was it built? All right, Jawa Jimmy, you got to roll really high. I don't know, computer programming repair to see if you get more information than that.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
All you gotta do is look at the little plaque that they put right next to the computer that says established in AB5.
I mean,
Hecho in Mexico.
it says, Echo -1 ABY, and you're like, wait, how did they know that ABY was going to happen? No, it does not say that, but it was built in the middle of the Galactic Civil War, but never completed.
Many Bothans were killed, so you don't know about this ship.
Tiberzon killed many Bothans to his own delight. Okay, so I've been rolling on my side because I figured it would take way too long. This is, at this point, an overwhelming victory for Grant. I actually thought maybe these three ships that are almost as powerful as Imperial Star Destroyers could potentially challenge him. According to my dice rolls, that is completely not possible. And the main things that got destroyed were these Tapani ships. Two of them got destroyed. And the rest are... So Tiberzon at this point is retreating. So I want to know how good that retreat goes. So on roll a d6. One is good for Zon. 6 is good for Grant. So someone roll a d6. All right.
It's only fitting that Zuda did that.
Roll one more d6. I'll take it. I did evens and odds. Okay, so as Zon ships were leaving Fondor, Zahn's flagship was disabled by Grant, and Grant is now is now in a tractor beam, and Grant now believes he has Zahn under control. So, not only was Zahn's attack unsuccessful, Zahn may now be in custody of the New Republic. Which only would have happened rolling a 6. I must impress. This is what I had. Rolled a 1. Zahn destroys a ship on the way out. 2. Zahn shoots dozens of other ships on the way out. 3. Clean break. 4. Grant shoots one of the ships on the way out. 5. Grant takes out maybe 2 ships. Roll a dice for more. 6. Zahn ship's disabled. Maybe captured. Roll another dice. Evens yes. Odds no. So very circuitous route, Rob. But
You've done it. You've done it, Zuda.
we've tied up so many. This feels very much not like Star Wars RPG, as we're tying up more loose ends than creating, which I feel has been the hallmark of playing for the last 20 years. Okay. So, as the battle winds to an end, the rest of Zahn's fleet leaves, while Grant has the Zahn's flagship under control. As this happens, the New Republic fleet comes into orbit. You see, dozens of Mon Calamari ships. You see, E-Wings. You see the New Republic fleet there just, maybe like 15 minutes too late. And as that happens...
sure, they're going to try and take all the glory too.
Is there anything else you want to do on the Eclipse before you leave? You're getting hailed to come meet Calomas is here.
Jimmy, you need to lock it out from Galamos.
All right.
He's gaining too much power in the New Republic. He's going to make
I'll be
himself
right
a new emperor.
Give me one.
Think about it. What did he send us out here for? He didn't send any aid to the Tapani when he knew the Empire was coming, but he suddenly shows up without us telling him that this was going on. He intends to claim this ship for himself and soon declare himself emperor. Just make it our ship.
He's been practicing that maniacal laugh ever since we left.
Who's been practicing? Sorry.
Galomos. Think about
Cal,
it, Jimmy.
Cal's gonna become the emperor.
What has he done? He's used us to prevent the Empire from taking any kind of major gains that would cause the New Republic to establish a real military. Meanwhile, he offered no New Republic aid when he knew the Empire was acting in the Tapani sector, and as soon as this ship is revealed, he conveniently appears over Fondor.
Is that right?
He may look like a nice man, but he's not.
Ooh, that's actually a good question. He's not a nice man. Jawa Jimmy's not force sensitive. But sorry, this is me out of turn here. Would the lightsaber that Jawa Jimmy has be aware of those who are influenced by the Sith? And if the answer is yes, would Jawa Jimmy even notice this if someone was evil because the lightsaber was acting Because it's so annoying being under Jimmy. Like, would Kalamos actually be like, oh, that guy, yeah, he's evil. But that senator smile that you know is no good.
I mean, we could give it to Grant and establish a third power in the galaxy. We could give it to ourselves, but I don't know where we're going to get 100,000 people. We could, I don't know, but why is he here all of a sudden?
We have to get Kalamos into like a prisoner dilemma situation. See if he'll reveal his true colors.
Well, the ship is under, or at least my control, or at least is locked out, so it can't be claimed and used by anyone else until I give the word. So effectively, the ship is locked out to anyone else. Plus, they need to have a whole crew of like hundreds of, if not thousands of people, right? So
Yeah, I just jumped in. They could, if they bring in computer people,
yeah,
they could.
they could override it.
I mean, it would take a while and be very frustrating, but they could. But it makes it so you're in control and have a bargaining chip and can control things.
Yep, that's the hope.
Or implant other things into it, but
Ooh, that's actually even better. I didn't even think about that until you just said it. the Jawa Jimmy Tracker, brought to you by Sparky. When things go wrong, don't you worry. There's a little spark in your life. And who do you call? Sparky. Why is Jawa Jimmy doing infomercials? Oh, he's watched too much TV lately.
He's been watching a lot of the Space Ghost Coast to Coast marathon. Has anybody been watching that on YouTube?
Wait, there's a marathon? Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's like the 25th anniversary of maybe 30th. Oh, I hope not. Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and you're showing everything like on a loop. I remember literally watching most of these in Luke's living room on Proctor, back in the day.
Oh man, is this from 1993 to 2012? Man, I did not realize it was going on that long.
Oh. So it's a 30. So it is 30 years.
It is very
too old.
Yeah, UHF is announcing Weird Al Yankovic's movie UHF is being released in July for their 35th anniversary. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, UHF is a hilarious movie.
Are you doing anything else? Are you doing anything else on the Eclipse before the battle ends? Because this has been a not to GM it too much or metagame, but especially with him capturing Zahn, quote unquote, we'll see. This has been a very decisive victory for Grant. Is there anything you want to do on the Eclipse otherwise before the battle ends and other things are going on?
Grant won't let him establish himself as Emperor. They'll fight over it unless we do something with this ship, Jimmy.
What do you have in mind?
Your words intrigue me, and I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Was the New Republic done to really earn our trust, other than put us in danger and almost have Sparky killed? They didn't even pay for Sparky's repairs. You went and had it done yourself. He doesn't seem on the level and this whole, oh well, you're an agent of the Wills, but like we don't hold any real New Republic office. We're the perfect scapegoats. They're gonna come in here, take all the glory, and if something goes wrong, it's gonna land on us. But if we give it to the Tapani, maybe then there's a third power in the galaxy, and there's this tension. I don't like our chances, no matter the situation here.
Ooh.
I mean, we can't man it.
So you're saying you want to blow it up?
That's actually, I like that idea. I like that a lot.
Zuda's ears perk up. Huh? Blow it up? Are we gonna blow it up? I really would love to blow it up.
I mean, Zuda, do you think that anybody should have this ship?
No. I mean, if you're gonna do anything with a ship, the best thing to do would be to blow it up.
Right, and the New Republic, they're demilitarizing, but they're coming here to take the new super weapon. But if we to play, you know, this advocate here, we know that Dala is building something, and this might be the best thing to fight against it. And in that vein, the only person who's effectively fought against Dala, other than us, would be Grant. And he might be the best person to have some semblance of control. Is there a way to have Grant have the ship, but make sure that he can't go rogue with it?
What do you mean? Define rogue.
I mean, you know, try to fight the New Republic as a new Imperial overlord. We got enough of those.
I mean, you could. You know, what you could do is put locks on certain types of ships and planets. So the weapons don't go off on them. But that would be a pretty long. That'd be a lengthy thing.
Why wouldn't you just crew it with the New Republic crews and just allow him to be, you know, at the flight deck, and that's it?
And prove his, you know, that he's got a genuine interest in the New Republic. I mean, that or like a coalition crew. We could just keep it held out until they agree on what we want. And we sound like the despots at this point. Except for the whole we can't use the ship ourselves thing. We really need to build a better following, guys. Rusty, you got any ideas?
Oh, hold up. Got one more fruit snack here. I mean, I'm stuck in my tusk here. All right. I mean, I agree with you, Katira. I mean, there's always a bigger bad that just wants to build one of these big doohickey super weapons. And, I mean, I kind of think we should just, you know, keep this one like a just in case. But, you know, like, anybody else kind of got the idea, like, we kind of go halvesies on this and, like, you know, maybe, like, put a self-destruct on it that no one needs to know about it but us?
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh, I like this idea. We get the chance to blow it up, and we get to kind of decide things, but we don't let anybody know that we did it, and so we can't look like the bad guys when it blows up later, because somebody else is the bad guy.
Sounds good to me.
How long do these explosives need to remain hidden?
You know, no one's really going to be looking for it if it's this big of a ship.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could do this one of two ways. We could either have Jawa Jimmy program something into the ship so that it can systems self-destruct, like overload the core, and cause it that way, and prevent manual override. Although that is also risky. Or I could go around and plant explosives, although I don't know where we get enough explosives for me to be able to blow this up like manually.
Hey, Jimmy, what is your catchphrase?
Something about junk? Sorry.
No, the next one. It's also the name of a beer.
What's the name of the beer?
It's in Spanish.
Sorry.
Oh man, this is so up your alley. Porque no
Los.
Mas.
no los dos.
Porque no los dos.
Los
One of
dos.
those. Porque no los dos. Eh? When did
Here's
James
Porque
start
no,
speaking
though, right?
Spanish?
You don't have, if you don't have Jawa Santiago.
Jimenez. Jawa Jimenez.
You could do both.
We
or
could.
none. Whatever you want to do. The explosives. Rob's right though. Zuda's right. To blow up the ship with just explosives triggered elsewhere, crazy amount would be needed. But you could probably rig something up to at least shut off like a major system, like their engines or shields or
The computer that's actually super important
Or
for the whole operation of the chip, right? At the ship, right? Because that's the brain of the ship.
right.
So if you disable that,
even better. You could set explosions right here where you are now, and it would destroy. It would like cripple the droid brain.
I mean, it doesn't have to be an explosion. It can be an EMP, right? It can be electromagnetic pulse device.
What if we just haven't ran him into something?
Or jump to hyperspace into a sun.
Oh,
You could you could choose to get rid of it, but that's up to you, and you have to figure out if that's what you're gonna tell the New Republic. But here's the thing, Kalamas is a peace-loving Alderaanian. So
Look, I got him.
he's not gonna like this. Like, he would love to destroy this, probably.
I mean, probably, or he'd want to take it and again make himself emperor. And who else was a peace-loving, Nabooian, Nabooite, Nabootian, Nubian? I don't know what they're called. Chief Palpatine.
It's obviously Nabootian.
I don't think they're buoys. I think they're just. I think it's Nubians. Bunch of noobs.
So the options are rig up explosives or some kind of EMP to destroy the ship's brain. Option 2 is to pre-program an executable destination to some kind of black hole, sun, whatever, to destroy the ship. Which seems the most feasible to do in the next couple of minutes.
What would Jawa Jimmy do?
I feel like Jawa Jimmy's like, all right, if we don't trust the man, if we put this into a black hole and jump to it, or to your point, just jump to hyperspace, that can get rid of it instantly. And then no one have access to it. Right?
I mean, nothing stays hidden forever, but you could jump it.
It could even be that we purposely make it jump to another location where we have access to. But the same problem still arises. What the hell to do with this giant ship?
I mean, you would literally need like 18,000 people or so to man it.
Yeah. The teeny dancer doesn't have much space.
Yeah, I mean, we have that other capital ship that we barely have enough crew for.
Right?
Luke ship, where Bota Z takes 5 missions to try to park. Don't worry, this is gonna be 18 missions to park your superstar destroyer, everyone.
It's the Austin Powers scene.
Get out of
And
the
the
way.
cart.
Yeah. The cart. Yeah. What a great movie.
Sorry, that's the scene I went to. Just the 17 mission parking.
Don't worry, we're all old. We're all quoting, Austin Powers. All right, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to do with this? I think this is. I didn't even think this was going to be the decision of the night, but it is. What do you want to do?
Into a vote.
I say we let Grant have it with some coalition crew.
Okay, so
Make
Katira,
some mess that it's locked to the Fondorians, and kind of smooth it over that there's not we could do about it, or that I don't know. It's unfortunate that we're on the ship right now.
actually, probably the person that could understand the ship the best is probably Elaine.
Right.
Because she is the super genius that understands all quad technology.
So I guess that
we literally designed her as a Lindsay Lohan / Paris Hilton character who ended up becoming the most powerful, smartest character of all time.
And she's married to Blaine.
Well, there's a reason I played this game.
Man, I hope Blaine don't mess around, man. Give her that firepower.
Gotta lock her down.
He liked it, so he put a ring on it.
Right.
our thought here is this: ringing a bomb would take too long. Jawa Jimmy can probably slice in a destination to a sun or a black hole nearby or something. In case anything goes wrong, it can destroy it. Or maybe some further away suns that doesn't destroy this planet, but sorry, not destroy this planet, but cause any kind of issues.
I was gonna say,
I don't think it ships destroy them.
Decide this place is just going up in smoke.
You're gonna get it.
Sorry, Fondor. You brought
ship incoming.
Ship incoming. No, that's a P, not a T, but yeah, it's the same thing.
I'm too tired.
All right, what are you gonna do with the ship?
Well, it's locked now, at least to me. So it can't easily be overridden. At least not without at least us giving up the code for it.
It would take a while. I mean, it would take a while for someone else to dominate the droid brain. I mean, it could easily. It could happen. Give it enough time.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I don't think Jawa Jim's going to program anything. I feel like he's like, we own this enough for now. Let's use this as a bargaining chip. Let's not set a destination to destroy the ship. Only because if they find out that we did that, that's equally bad for us as well.
All the more reason to blow it up now.
Hey, Zuda, no one's stopping you from throwing like secret charges around the computer core.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think
better
Joe and
start doing
Jimmy.
that.
I feel like
Joe
Is
and
there
Jimmy
a
wouldn't
way
be
to
against
make it look like, like we were otherwise disposed when Grant and his people boarded the ship because they're gonna get here first, and we could just leave it?
you want to not be here when other people get on the ship.
I mean, I want, if we're stuck, I want the New Republic to not think that we did something against the New Republic. Like, we're looking at
Oh,
serious
that's true.
jail time in lots of directions here.
Especially that.
I just
Hey.
don't trust Calo Moss.
How is this against the New Republic? The New Republic ordered some completely different ships, and this is resource reallocation here. So we might as well just help the New Republic with its scrapping efforts.
That's the
You
way to
know?
look at it.
But that's the crazy thing is they spent so much of their resources trying to fix this up when they probably could have had like 5 or 6, equivalents of Star Destroyers with the Nadiri Starhawks. So Rob, you're totally right.
I'm gonna go look for a comm console.
Don't tell them what I'm doing.
Rob says as he pees in the corner.
Look, I just need some. I need some sulfur, okay?
I would have loved that in Star Wars if there was a moment where Han's like, I gotta go pee in the corner of this Death Star. Wait, oh, hold up, I gotta go.
He's like,
I'll be
Chewie,
right
cover
back.
me.
And Luke's like, there's a bathroom, like, right down the way. He's like, no, I'm just gonna pee on the wall.
You gotta write my name on.
I would love that. Okay. Okay, so it sounds like you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything, right? Did I miss that?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think Rob, you Zuda may be putting some explosives, right?
Yeah,
Contingency plan.
I'm just gonna put explosives for explosive reasons.
I'll never forget how you blew up my Dark Jedi. Okay. So, Katira, Jimmy, Bota, all good.
I think so.
Okay.
Jimmy's good. He did the one thing, put the password on. He's like, that's good enough.
Oh, nice. 12 on a advanced skill.
Yeah, trying to make something out of all the unfired rockets from this rocket launcher.
So you could do that, and you could put those unfired rockets in the droid core of this ship, which would be a pretty sick way to self-destruct the ship.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. That they're going to try to get in there and hide them so that they look like other parts of the droid core.
Nice. Okay. 12, no problem. Okay. So the battle over Fondor is a resounding victory for Grant. Grant destroyed the Zon consortium. I wasn't really playing that. I thought Zon was going to potentially deal some damage here, but the dice have set certain things in motion.
Oh.
All right. So Cal Amos is here. Cal wants to talk to everybody to understand what you would support. So the thing is, everyone here has, while you may or may not be involved with, like, employed by the New Republic, unless you're Bota, you have all, like, really had major influences in the last couple of years. So Calamas is going to ask questions of everyone here. So the way that starts is like, hey, here we go. I sent you all off here on a non-military operation to be safe from Dala's eyes and, well, not ears, but assassins. I don't quite understand how this routine gala has become such a I don't even know how to say it. Has become such an event. Did you know that this is the 17th gala where the free worlds have tried to get the Lords of the Expanse to join them? Nope. Well, that's the truth. So Cal wants to talk to each of you here and sort of get your opinion. Just so you all know, what Grant invoked to try to take control was a real law. But I think Cal and there's a whole bunch of senators. Like you see Cal here. Cal takes you up to the upper atrium, and he wants to talk to everybody one-on-one. But there are so many senators. This is like huge diplomatic incident, and he just wants to talk to everyone one-on-one, get some feedback, and understand what's going on.
Well, obviously, I mean, you want to know like everything, how it started, how it went, why we're alive.
He's basically saying, it's basically like Law and Order. Like, he's the bar person being like, yeah, tell me what you know.
Well, I was the first one to the planet. We all showed up in various starships, and I was immediately opened fire on. Appeared to be the mining guild. The senator, offered a bit of amnesty in the situation. And then we toured the shipyard. Noted that they had may have some projects going on. Zuda can speak to that later. And slept on Bota's ship eventually. In that process, discovered that the senator had ordered the firing on of my ship, knowing that it was a New Republic vessel, immediately upon its entrance to the area, indicating that the senator's not friendly to the New Republic. I'll let Zuda cover, what he discovered from the shipyard, but it appears that the shipyard was working to develop this ship in some way, shape, or form, and while the senator claims some sort of separation, I can't help but notice that they were the one who ordered the firing on a New Republic vessel. And at the gala, or at the summit, it was agreed upon that the Free Worlds and Fondor would unite. Now, note that this is a potentially hostile Fondor now gaining the Free Worlds under their sphere of influence. And so when that occurred, Grant came in and he kind of, he invoked this law that you're talking about, this real legitimate law. Grant, who had now defeated the Imperials that had entered the Tapani sector, was coming with a fleet to protect Fondor from being controlled by these anti-Republic personnel. And it would seem to me that he acted in the best interest of the Republic overall to establish security and removal of those corrupt individuals from power.
Okay, Cal's gonna say, do you believe Grant would uphold the interests of the New Republic?
Senator, I don't know Octavian Grant too well. I know, a smattering of his history from just having looked it up myself, but I do know that he wanted to support the New Republic in the battle against Thrawn, and he certainly has supported the New Republic's interests in the sector currently. And so I have no reason to doubt that he would, in the future, continue to support the Republic and the good of the galaxy.
Cal says, noted, okay. And as a non-human, has Grant ever showed any sort of non-favoritism towards you?
Quite the opposite, Senator. I was greeted by the Tapani themselves initially with a bit of xenophobia, but it was upon Grant's entrance and his influence that their attitude shifted. It would appear to me that the inclinations of his people are not his own.
Okay, and if you could make a recommendation for Grant in the system, what would it be?
I think he should continue with the legitimate and legal path that he's set out upon. He's opposed the Empire. He's deposed the corrupt diplomats that sought to undermine the New Republic. He's overall done well so far, and I think that his establishment in control over this sector would be better for the New Republic as a whole. The Tapani themselves have not long supported the New Republic in full, but they will under him.
Okay.
And you'd be breaking your own laws if you didn't have, you'd be undermining all of the rules that we've set forth as the New Republic if you didn't allow him to carry out what he's already set in motion.
Cal says, well, we could nominate other people to have jurisdiction over the sector that have less, how would I say, conflict? Historical conflict?
Imperial.
And they wouldn't represent the people nearly as well.
Maybe not. But Cal thanks you for your time. Zuda Zorbo, would you speak with Cal Amatz?
Yeah.
What was your interaction? Okay. How was your interactions with the leadership of Fondor when you came here? Pleasant, hospitable.
Well, for the most part, I felt a little run around initially especially considering that there was this whole scheming faction that was running the shipyards. That was taking New Republic money and spending it on the Imperials.
So Cal looks at his data pad and says, "Yes, actually, I think looking at what everyone else said, you are one of the key people who identified that they were diverting our money."
It took some doing, and took some skills I'm not normally known for. But I was able to uncover their shifty. What's that? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not grift. It's corruption. No.
Those all work though. Duplicity.
Yes, duplicity, or I think one of those words.
They all work.
Certainly duplicitous.
I
So-
thought, hey, great. You know what? I normally did not the type of mission I go for, but then I grabbed onto this tail and I pulled on it. But then once I exposed these guys for what they're doing, here rolls in Mr. Grant, or what's his title again? Grant.
It is a Mister. Well,
Mr. Grant.
it would
Here
be
comes in.
It would be Lord, High Lord, but we're only on the fringes of the Tapani sector, so.
Mr. High Lord Mucky Muck Grant, who's like, I knew this the entire time. What a yutz. And now he's doing exactly the sort of shit that was happening right before the Old Republic fell, and suspending democracy and doing all this kinds of crazy shit and bringing in a bunch of warships that we don't need. What's going to happen to the Eclipse, by the way?
Objection. We needed them.
Well, you're not here, but
Oh, fair.
But
I'll shut up.
Cal does say, he says, interesting. I will say that Grant said the Rodian seems rather sharp, especially for a Rodian. Because out of game, you were the one of the few people who understood what was going on. So anyways, Grant did have...
Rodian for...
And so anyways, that's what Cal says to you. And then he says, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know, being related to a senator. So Cal obviously knows your background as well.
Figured that out, huh? Well, I probably shouldn't have showed up in my dad's ship if I didn't want people to find that out. But I suppose
Step one. Yeah, it still has the same transponder. No one's changed it.
oh well, it's okay. I don't care.
So Cal says, if you ever decide to change your mind on what you want to do, according to what Grant said and what I've seen, you're surprisingly good at diplomacy. So he gives you a little, I don't know. I was gonna say his card, but whatever. He gives you a chip to contact him.
All right.
And then he also says we've had some good progress with former bounty hunters becoming ambassadors.
Well, I mean, we do always keep our eyes on the prize.
Yep.
But still, coming back to my question, what's going to happen to that big ship that we're building out there?
Cal says, well, we should fly that ship into the sun. I don't think anybody should have this kind of weaponry.
You're speaking my language. I definitely think we need to scrap that thing and get whatever we ordered originally from the Tapani side or these drive yards.
He looks away and says, "You know, we would have just gotten 5 or 6 Starhawks, which would have also seen combat." And you can tell he seems sort of depressed. Like he is not somebody who enjoys combat. But then he turns around and says, "I do appreciate all you've done. You know, recommendation from Grant, and we understand that the Starhawks we ordered, you know, weren't ever going to come. So we do appreciate that. I'll be making a recommendation to destroy the Eclipse, and
Yes,
let me know.
destroy the Eclipse.
Let me know if you ever change your mind about you know, moving out of the, you know, bang bang, you know, occupation and want to be more of a talk.
Yeah, well, suppose one of these days I gotta start dropping bombs with my mouth instead of dropping bombs with my hands. Not that I have much of a mouth.
or any at all. Okay, so you've got his contact information. He's trying to get
Yeah.
you to move into a different
Possible
profession.
career path.
Rooston Steel. Would you come in and talk to me a little bit if you're available?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
I believe you prefer to be called Rusty. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, professionally.
I appreciate all the things you did in your past with the Alderaanian troopers.
Yeah. Hard work and lot of lost limbs, but you know, some of us are still here.
Okay, I gotta say, so we're interviewing people about their experiences here at Fondor as a bunch of senators from Coruscant are here to sort of make determination on Fondor's sort of, I guess, self-determination. How would you say you were treated on Fondor? What are some of your favorite memories here?
You know, I like the views. People were nice. You know, it's just a nice place, you know, to kind of walk around and clear my head.
All
Help
right.
me.
And what did you think of former Grand Admiral Grant?
Uh, I couldn't say I particularly like the guy. And I'm like, Rusty's looking at the group like, what do I say?
Like Katira is like mouthing, "You like Grant, you like him," and like Zuda's
Thumbs
like
up.
trying to write down on a piece of paper like, "You hate Grant, you hate him."
Oh, you misspelled hate.
He reads it as great. I mean, I guess we like him.
I really grate Grant.
Great hand. Who is hand?
I hate great.
I great hand?
I mean, a great Grant. No.
I mean, can I be just honest with you, man? I gotta get
Please.
this off my. I just gotta get this off my tusks. See,
Please.
you know, anybody with too much power in this galaxy tends to scare me. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyone who gets too big seems to have this great idea how they can just protect someone else and run a better show. I mean, no offense to you, sir. I mean, you're doing a crack job, and I respect you and all. But that's just how I feel. And anyone who's put into power just kind of worries me.
Yeah. Somebody who is put into power. Okay, I can respect that. How did you feel Allard Purdue out of the picture? How did you feel about the other Fondorian representatives? Did you talk to them at all? Do you have any thoughts about them?
You know, I was kind of distracted by this long-haired Wookiee beauty, and I don't remember too much.
We've all been lost between the fur.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh, I do. He reaches
Good
to give you
man.
an awkward fist bump.
Good man here. Yeah.
All right. Rim Chanceux, would you speak with me for a minute?
Depends. What do you have to say?
Well, I have some very expensive whiskey over here.
All right, you have my attention.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any of that. Look, somehow you joined up with this crew, and I don't know how you did it. Did you join up with him secretly to support Grant taking over Fondor? I'm not mincing the words.
Yeah, Grant. Yeah, you know what? No. The idea that I would do anything to help Octavian Grant is hilarious.
But he's of your family and of your house.
Yeah, you don't get to choose family.
Interesting. What would you think if Grant was able to take control of this entire sector?
Octavian Grant is gonna do what Octavian Grant has always done. He's gonna wrestle power and put himself on the seat. That's what he wants to do. That's all he cares about is power. He doesn't care about the people.
I find this highly shocking. As someone from the same house, but very refreshing. As an Alderaanian, you know, we value peace above everything.
Well, you know what? He does have many faults, but if you wanted peace, he wouldn't be the worst choice. He would get results maybe in not the ways that you would want, though.
Interesting. As someone who I'm the least familiar with, I'll be keeping my eyes on you, Rem. Thank you for your input.
Oh, you said something about whiskey?
Oh yeah, he throws you a little bit of whiskey and says, "This is from New Alderaan. It's not as good as old Alderaan, but it's something."
I guess it'll have to do.
If you smell it, it smells like motor oil. They have not figured out how to make whiskey on New Alderaan, but it will get someone blackout drunk and maybe like a shot or two.
All right. Well, I will start sipping promptly.
Yeah, share that bottle. Share the bottle.
Oh, I didn't know Rusty was a whiskey drinker. I give him a hand of the bottle.
Sniffs. Ooh, yeah, that's terrible. I like it.
I feel like you do that, and then Rusty just keeps drinking. You're like, no, just a sip. No. Jawa Jimmy, would you come in and talk to me, please?
Sure.
All right. Am I saying it correctly, Jimmy?
Good enough.
Perfect. Now, I have almost no intelligence on you, except that you're always there in the background of every photo. You see a brief collage of all these famous moments, and Jawa Jimmy's like slightly in the background, slightly out of focus.
He gets the collage just up. Like he's like, look at this photo. Look at this photo.
This is camp. And who is this in the background? It's a blurry Jawa Jimmy. Oh, and this is the governor's quarters on Coruscant. There's Jawa Jimmy's foot. I've got to say, you've made an interesting life for yourself. But really, what I'm focused on now is how would you feel? How do you feel about Octavian Gray?
Eh.
How do you feel about Octavian Grant taking control of this sector?
How do I put this? I don't necessarily like the guy. Don't necessarily hate the guy. Do I want to give more people more power? Not necessarily.
He says, well said. He gives you a little magnet. And he says, give this to your compatriot. This will get him out of jail once. And it's basically like a little magnet you can stick on a droid or anything magnetic. He says, well, in most places. And please don't murder anybody.
Jim was like, this could go in handy. Thank you.
Okay, Bota Z. Luke, are you around? Oh man, because Luke's input would be the most weight carrying out of everybody.
I think he dropped off
And
a while ago.
the fact that Bota is not providing input has a lot of weight in itself.
Well, the worst part is Luke, as a person, wanted to do this because he thought Fondor had so much potential to explore, which is disappointing because I feel like Bota would have so many opinions now. Okay, all right. So, give me a second. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then we're going to decide what happens to Fondor, and we're going to potentially go to the Tapani sector. Give me just 1 minute.
Oh, we're going to the Tapani sector. At least me and Ram are.
I know, that's why I put that thing. I watched the Simpsons episode where they had Poochie, and then Milhouse is like crying. He's like, when are they going to go to the firework factory? And I was like, oh, that's Rim. Literally, there's a Simpsons episode where they introduce a new character in Itchy and Scratchy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the fireworks factory," and they keep talking about it and they never go. And then Milhouse starts crying, being like, "When are they gonna go to the fireworks factory?" And I just literally was like, "Oh, that's Rim with like, when are we going to Tapani sector?"
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
I feel like Katira would have like a conciliatory with the group, like, look, guys, no matter how it turns out, I think we did what's best for, the galaxy. It'll be all right. She's secretly like, but if Grant wins, I'm gonna be like, Zuda, I told you.
No, he still sucks.
I was saying Boo Earns. Sorry. Speaking of Simpsons, it's the first thing that came to mind. Good old mole man.
What really matters is the friends we made along the way.
I feel like Joe was like, Jimmy's like, well, I can thank you one thing, Katira. We have a shiny new friend that's going to appear very soon.
You're darn right he is. And you really should have supported Grant more because of that. It's a Tapani droid. He's a Tapani guy, you know?
Out of character. I feel like Joe Jimmy doesn't really care for people in power. Like, he doesn't care for Grant, doesn't care for Kalamas, doesn't care for a lot of these figures. I feel like he's not trusting of these figures in general. That would be my take. Like,
Okay.
I feel like he's like, I'm just like agnostic. That's not the right term. He's just apprehensive about people with authority, promising things. I won't say he's Zuda Zorbo, of like, I don't trust anything, but I don't think Jawa Jimmy's want to trust people with power. So he's like,
I'm back.
oh, hey. We were just talking about how Jimmy, it's like, oh, why didn't Jimmy support, Grant more? I'm just like, Jawa Jimmy doesn't really care for people in power. He doesn't really want to trust them in general. Which, reads. At least that's what I feel.
Okay, so
But he's right there.
I'm gonna make a roll. Well, actually, who wants to roll? Actually, this seems like a Katira roll. Roll 1d20.
20. There should only be one option here.
I mean, I guess we could do one. We could do 1d10.
1d1. 20. It's a 10, right in the middle.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Sorry, Jordan. You got the hiccups there?
I do.
Okay. So I've seen this work before. And I need you to really listen to the words that I'm about to say and internalize them so much that all of your autonomous systems understand this fact that I'm about to tell you. Okay?
Okay.
Jordan, you are not a fish. You have plenty of oxygen. Your lungs can breathe air. You don't need to be in the water. You don't need to exercise your gills. You are not a fish.
The crazy thing is that worked.
What'd I tell you?
I'm not hiccuping any longer. I was like, is this from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Or something. Like, I was trying to identify the reference, and I am no longer hiccuping.
There's no reference. This is just a thing that works.
It does. Because I'm no longer hiccuping. That's crazy, man. Well, now that I'm freaked out, let's keep going.
Well, it's theorized as that's what hiccups are. It's that the old reflex of trying to flex your gills is like turning on somehow and causing you to try to suck in, a bunch of water so you can filter some oxygen out of it.
I would love for that to be true. I mean, I like it. I think that's a great explanation. It was sort of the thing where did you read that thing where people were talking about, hey, maybe ancient people didn't see colors the same way we did? Did you ever read that? Where how like in the Odyssey they describe the sea as like a dark, like
the wine red sea.
Wine
yes.
red. And then you're like, oh wait, maybe they didn't see blue. You're like, obviously they did. because like literally they talk about blue later, in later plays. But anyways, I love that. I kind of love those kind of explanations. But
Do babies in the womb hiccup?
they do.
Didn't know that.
Okay, well we rolled on
On a
Octavian Grant.
D20 and a D10, they're right down the middle.
Yep. So here's what's going to happen. Over the next couple of days, Grant is going to be announced as the overlord of the entire sector. Now,
Overlord.
the one difference here is that Fondor is going to be able to vote on a regional government that will be able to decide its own laws, etc., etc. Whereas Grant will be able to sort of control the military of the region. So basically what Cal has done here is that instead of having like Grant define a lot of the rules, he's been able to set it up so maybe not the same people are going to be in charge. Maybe not. Maybe so. Maybe people will really like the person that, let their planet be completely taken over. Who knows? But the one thing that Grant will have control over is kind of the entire security of the entire region. So Grant will nominally control Fondor.
That sounds dangerous.
Good. That sounds really good.
But at least
He's done well so far.
But at least he won't be leaving the New Republic.
Yet.
Or this region won't be. Yet. But this is what's going on. Yeah. So, is there any last things you want to do? You could take Luke's or Bota's ship. Take your own ships. Is there any last things you want to do on Fondor before you move towards going to the Expanse?
No, I guess I better. Oh, I guess we're gonna be traveling through the Expanse.
Yep. You're going to Obulette or Pawan, would you say Obulette or Obulette? Like, how would you pronounce that?
Good question. I guess Obulette, but I'm
It's got to be
really just
Obulette, right?
guessing. Yeah, I think so.
Did
Sounds
someone
more
just say Odelay?
funny.
Obulette. Yeah, Beck's first album.
That's what I was thinking.
It's Obulette. So the whole original point was Cal was saying, hey, you guys are high risk targets. Let me send you somewhere where it's gonna be too risky to assassinate you. And then Luke was like, hey, let's stop by Fondor. I know they're having a gala and I just want to jump in. And so that's been the last 9 missions. When really, Rem's been like, hey, guys, let's all go back to my big house on, my familial house in the Tapani sector, and sort of relax here while maybe this Dala thing blows over. So anyways, Grant still wants you to go to the Tapani sector because you all are proving yourselves to have, targets on the back of your yourselves.
Can Jawa and Jamie ensure that at least Sparky is working? I know that we said it would take a while, so.
Oh no. Sparky is, when you get back into that room, Sparky's ready to go. So Sparky is a, 5'10", solid gold droid, ready to party. This guy is just ready to go. And the thing is, Sparky could never really communicate before. So roll a d6. I've created sort of different, I don't know, different types of the way that Sparky might speak.
A 4.
Okay, let's see. I wrote here a list of different accents Sparky might speak with. Because he has full capacity to speak now. He's not
Right.
whistling in any of that anymore. Okay.
So we do a
More
bet.
kids. Funny.
Jawa Jimmy has a sinking in his gut, like, what have I done?
Okay. Yes.
Frankenstein's
goes.
monster.
Sparky goes, "Oh, you betcha." This Sparky is ready for destruction.
Oh boy.
And he picks up a gun. Blaster. So you do have a new droid. Well, it's Sparky. Sparky is going to talk like a North Dakota Fargo person and refer to itself in third person. But you do have to say this droid is solid. It looks like solid gold. It's it's not, but it's solid plated gold, and it is literally amazing. Like, I think if you walked around with this droid, especially if you went to like somewhere like Tatooine, people would be like, "Holy shit, what is this droid?"
Wait, so Sparky started off as a surly astromech,
Who killed a lot
sort of like
people.
R2D2, and then got arms and legs, and now has a golden body. So he's effectively become
A golden god?
R2D2 and C3PO put together.
Oh. Well put, but he does sound like Margie from Fargo.
I really thought you were gonna go with some kind of British gangster at one point.
I wrote out different accents, and I was like,
Like a mobster.
These are ones I could do. So, you rolled a 4. That was an excellent. Honestly, though, you got close, but you didn't get Canadian Sparky, which I also thought would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been great, actually.
I wrote
A
down.
boot.
I wrote down if you got Canadian Sparky, I was gonna say, and where's the washroom? Which honestly is the most Canadian thing. You go to any place in Canada, you're like, "Where's the washroom, eh?"
I thought you were gonna go Letterkenny on me. I was like, oh man, I love Letterkenny.
No, it's just literally every time in Canada. My favorite thing is like literally, I'm like, "Where's the washroom?" And they're like, "Oh, you're American, but you're asking for the washroom." I'm like, "Yeah, duh. This is how you say bathroom in Canada." I'm like, I had someone be like, "You don't have to dumb it down for us Canadians." I'm like, "Well, no. This is how you say it in Canada." Like, literally, I'm not trying to insult you by saying washroom. I would never say that at home, but I would say that here in Victoria Island. Anyway, it was the dumbest argument I ever had. I had an argument with a Canadian. It was like, "No, we're more polite than you.
We're more.
You can't be polite because we're more polite."
Things you
Okay.
don't expect to hear.
Okay, so what they're doing, they're making Grant the regent of the entire area. But he won't have nominal control over people. Okay, so what's going to happen now? I think y'all are saying goodbye to Fondor. And as you all head into the Expanse, you make your way through
Oh wait, I did want to. Sorry, I was
Mhm.
waiting for other people to finish. What about the ship that I purchased? Where are we at with that? Can I check status
Oh
before I
yeah.
leave Fondor?
Oh, they can absolutely send that to you. No, you got it fixed by Bestman Motors, so they'll send it to you for sure.
Oh, okay. Because I once that was ready, I was gonna take a small personal sojourn back to Rhodia to return my dad's ship and then replace it with my own.
Okay,
Just
well,
have Cal take it back. He's basically our errand boy now that he can't be emperor.
okay. So Best Motors will send it to you in the Tapani sector, and when you get there, you can swap ships.
Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure.
Although, okay, so as you approach the Tapani sector, and you go to Obulette, you're greeted by a droid saying, "Ah, yes, I assume you're here for the holiday."
I'm looking at you, at the Tapani sector people like holiday.
Well, what else would we be here for?
Ah, well, don your appropriate clothing, and we'll meet you in the docking bay.
Oh,
Rim, I
I
assume
thought
you have to do something to like let everyone into the Mecetti compound.
Wouldn't I just send a like signal that like there's ships following me, or that or should be cleared to land, and give their whatever
Yeah,
their like
but you
ship
have
code
to
is?
do that though. You have to be like, "Hey, I'm coming in." I assume you're just otherwise napping in the back of the ship.
No, I do that.
Okay, okay. So you say, "Hey, Rim Chanceux like coming home to roost," right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you
Rem's back, baby.
actually let's see how you're received.
Okay.
Let's roll 1d6. The higher the better.
Shouldn't it be weighted?
I mean, that's why it is.
Boom.
Oh, so people are excited to see you again. We can explore this later. But I was literally expecting it to be a 1. And we were
You
going
know,
to be.
there was a part of me that wanted to make a play and be like, you can't trust Octavian Grant. Let me be the regent while I'm here until you find a suitable replacement.
I would
Ooh,
have.
that would have been
I
good guy.
honestly would have loved that.
that would have been amazing, actually.
And then I could have knighted Katira and debts would have been absolved. It would have been great.
Okay,
Oh my gosh! Why didn't we use nepotism? God, we're idiots.
nepotism
Oh
always
man.
works. Okay, so as you all land in, well, I don't know. I guess you all brought your own ships because you know bringing your own ships and being a captain of your own ship makes you a sir, a knight in the Tapani sector hierarchy. And then I don't know, Loop rides a giant ship. So as you all land and bring all your own ships here, you all come into a communal landing pad, and a droid comes out and starts to greet you. And as soon as that droid sees Sparky, goes, yes, sirs and madams, and it just stops and it freezes up and falls over backwards, seemingly freaked out by seeing Sparky. But Rim, you know exactly where you are. You're on a landing pad, just like so many landing pads on the Mecetti compound.
Alright. So they know me, so I'm just gonna be like, don't worry about it.
This
I
is
know what he looks like. That's
imagine
not what he is. He's with me.
imagine going back to your house or I don't know, like your compound after not being there for like 10 years. Another droid pops out after that droid freezes up and says, "Oh yes, Sir Chanceux, I believe you must have come here in observance over the holiday.
Yeah, the high holidays, I observe.
Yes, and I presume people did not seem to wear the appropriate, clothing. And he sort of looks. If a droid could look disdainfully over everyone, it would.
Well,
Grim,
let's
I'm
make
gonna
sure
kill your
that they look presentable for the festivities.
I believe we can make that happen. All right.
I believe you will.
Well, so the droid takes you down a circuitous route and says, oh, hang on a second. And says, welcome to the LeBeau Festival. And brings you down and welcome to the Tapani sector.
What kind of a thick? I will refrain from profanity. Person, are you Rem?
Rem just says it's good to be home. All right, is it cool if we call it? I actually
Yeah, this is it. This
Okay.
is
Perfect call.
but literally the droid has brought you down to these underground areas where it's just like Roman baths
Hedonism bots.
and hedonism. Literally, this is the LeBeau Festival.
I think I hate you so much, Rem.
And
Well, hey,
as you all walk in and you're making jokes with each other, everyone stops doing shots and drinking their beer and throwing their light foils around and starts clapping and cheering and applauding you all for coming in.
Oh no, this is better.
I immediately picture a hedonism bot, like the actual hedonism bot from Futurama, just like eating grapes.
But he's cheering and clapping because everyone is very excited. With that 6 roll, everyone is very excited to see you all here.
Rem's gonna put his arms in the air and kind of like give everyone like a hey, I'm back. And then I'm gonna gesture to Katira and be like, this is Katira. She's a hero. And then
Oh, I hate that this is happening.
make sure you keep your eye on her because she's a hero. She's going places. She's doing things.
No, don't. I don't want people to keep their. Actually, they're not wearing enough clothes to pickpocket. You, why not?
They're not wearing it.
I mean, you can still try pickpocketing, but you're not going to like what you find.
Oh.
All right, so let's. That's it for now. You are now in the Tapani. You are in the Tapani sector proper. You're in the Expanse. You're in Obulette, the capital of House Mecetti, and you're in the Mecetti compound during the festival of LeBeau, which is apparently a high holiday. So let's pause it there.